Welcome back from that break. And over time, we'll know that Nigeria has battled with one major issue, which is terrorism, banditry, insurgency, whatever thing you can call it. And now, we are at the edge of addressing this. We are beginning to see political will to tackle this insecurity. And there is one question that people have always asked. How many years more will it take for us to tackle insecurity? And some people have even argued whether it can be entirely wiped out. Now, in a way to address insecurity, we are seeing the momentum that state police is beginning to gather. We have no other person to help us make sense out of all this than Comrade Duke Alamboye, who is the National President, Nigerian Youth Organization, and also Chairman, Green Assembly Initiative. Is someone you've seen on your screen several times. He's one of your favorite analysts, so I don't need to do too much. It's a great pleasure to have you, and thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Well, let's begin quickly. What are the top security priorities that should be on the new IGP decks as we speak from day one? What do you think are those things that, oh, the old IGP did not do so well in, or did not address so well, that this new IGP should address? Let's start from there.
Okay, before I take on your question, let me use the opportunity to formally congratulate the new Inspector General of Police for ascending to this very big height. Of course, his antecedents and records have shown that he's a very capable hand, and that also thank the outgone IG of Police for the service he has rendered to our nation. Recall that his tenure has almost elapsed. There was this show always on him about his elongation of his tenure. But well,
but do you think that was why he resigned?
No, I don't think so. Of course, he said he gave his reason for his resignation. However, I think his resignation has also been long overdue. So we thank him for staying extra mile to serve the country, mostly when the issues of insecurity was at paramount decks of our country. So let me thank him and also congratulate the new sheriff in town. So congratulations to our new IG of Police. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be done, and before the incoming of the new IGP, the president has set the pace. We've been clamoring on the instruments of state security to solving the menace of banditries and all the crimes that have been happening in our country. And one most paramount thing is bringing the solution to the local level, because in time past we observed that the perpetration of crimes and banditry has been in communities, in churches, in mosques. Basically they target the rural areas. So one thing that is lagging is the insufficiency of police personnel, as it may be, to man those local fronts, those communal fronts, to gauge these men from it. So I think this is one paramount thing the police need to do. There have been this concern for understaffed police force, and bringing it up, the state policing will increase the police force and also shift lots of responsibility, financial and maintenance responsibility to the state. Because I, for once, have been agitating that the way governors are relaxed about this security is a little bit worrisome, irrespective of the huge amount of security votes they go home with. So I think the new IG has a duty to ensure, which apparently he has also started. I think yesterday or today he constituted the 8-man committee that will look into the establishment of this state security. So he has started that. So that, by the way, another issue again is intelligence gathering. I think the police in time past have not done lots of intelligence gathering, even though it's domiciled with the responsibility of the DSS. I think the police also need to have its own refined intelligence gathering. What I mean, centralized intelligence gathering that is also linked up to the NIA, the DIA, the DSS, so that with apt information. Yesterday I was talking with the director of DSS Nasarawa State, and he was telling me that the duty of the DSS is to preempt crime. So when once crime is committed, it's now the duty of the police to come in. That is why if they apprehend a certain crime, they hand it over to the police for execution. So if you can imagine a situation where we have a unified what they call intelligence gathering centers, like what Tantita is doing recently, trying to see how they can have a center stage where all intelligence are correlated so that it can be of speedy nature. So we want the police to also have such intelligence. That is number 2. Number 3, technology. We still see our policemen do things manually. You see, some policemen even use phone calls. Some policemen even use this as walkie-talkie. Time has passed that stage. We want to see a police that is well informed, that is technologically up to date. Lots of technology appliances have come is out in the system that will aid them do their job properly. We must not. Sometimes we deploy personnel where technology can easily do the job. So I think the IGP needs to also focus on technology, applications of technology. It aids kidnapping. It eradicates the incidence of kidnapping. It helps in prompt information. So there is a lot technology can do for the police. I think it should also look into the areas of technology. Then number 4, societal coverage. What I call societal coverage, the citizens and police relationship, the youth and police relationship. I think it needs to come up. Nigerians have lost lots of confidence.
I think that's my next question.
Yes.
That's the next question on my list. I was going to ask you, yeah, as much as the IG, of course, he knows that there is so much on his desk, a lot is expected from him. But when you look at it, you know that the Nigerian police force has long been criticized. Corruption, brutality, even low morale. But what structure do you think needs to be reformed, at least by the new IG, for to restore that public confidence that has been lost?
Yeah, so we want to see that collaboration. First of all, the police needs to be retrained. Their officers want to see the IG deliberately training his core officers, the intelligence officers, the administrative officers, down to whatever level of training. I'm not talking about the initial training. So you see what is happening today now is more than combating. It's more than communal protection. Today we are faced with internal rancor of criminality, banditry, as it may be, and the police force is not well positioned to tackle such, except but a unit in the police. So it has to be holistic. We want to see the police reforms critically going on, mostly in trainings, advanced training on banditry, because the situation we have today is what is going to determine the effect of police. Again, public confidence, like you rightly said, has been lost in the police. Anybody, if today you're driving through a street and there's a police blockage, you are just sure of that. You are just sure that with 10 or whatever amount of money, you can pass the blockage. But you can't determine that if you are approaching an NDLA stand or an army stand. So these are the characters that needs to be checkmated. The duties of the police is closely to the people. So we must have confidence. When a policeman comes out, people must still respect them. We do respect the way we take the DSS people. When the DSS personnel is with you, you know that it's thorough. When an EFCC personnel is with you, you know it's thorough. So building the confidence of Nigerians to respect and appreciate what the police are doing. We are not kicking out the fantastic jobs they are doing. I think I want to give kudos to the Nigerian police and when it comes to cyber crime. I think they are the topmost of it, with the sophisticated departments headed by CP Ushe. They are doing well. Other intelligence departments are doing well, but the one that concerns the public, the AFRON, the DPOs, the new IG needs to thoroughly work on people, personnel that are posted to become DPOs in our communities, in our local government, so that they can face the thorough job they are there for. So I think with his antecedents, with his parade of what they call awards and the qualifications, I think he is also going to step on the shoes of the outgone and then elevate the police force into a better stand.
Okay, now we see that insecurity keeps growing. I mean, 1 minute it does look like, oh, we are getting over it, and the next minute Nigerians can't even sleep with their eyes. And we know this is not just something that one military force can handle. How would you say, or how would you advise the new IGP to coordinate with other military forces, I mean the army, the DSS, to to be able to combat the multi-dimensional security threat facing Nigeria at the moment?
Okay, as a body that is also involved in National Security Summit, at least we've done 2024-2025 National Security Summit. We have worked closely with all the service chiefs, the arms, and including the police. I want to tell you that a lot has been done. A whole lot of work has been done. Irrespective that we're having glitches of touch here and there, it is not as rampant as before. We've improved from our insecurity level to today. I think the body language of the security personnel is also passing a message to the bandits, except that yes, they are still trying their luck in some cases and also making Nigerians feel that it's deteriorating. I think the military, with due respect, the military and paramilitaries in this country, they've done good justice to fighting insecurity. We must give them, what we're arguing is that they can do better, and that is why we will keep on encouraging them. We keep on collaborating with them. Sensitization is very key. So if you don't know what people are doing, you may just think that nothing is being done. Ab initio, when I've not been into these conferences around this security in the country, I used to also sound like a very common man, but interaction and our capability has shown that a lot is being done that sometimes are not necessary to put at public domain. But you are correct, a lot also needs to be done. That is why the glamour we glamored for police, state policing.
Yes.
The advantage it will have is far more than when people will argue that it will be a political tool. No, I don't think so. It is not also going to usurp the duties of the federal police, because these things happen in advanced countries. We have even local government policing, what they call them, I've forgotten the name. We have a state policing before I talk about it. So every police at every point have their own duties where their function terminates, where the federal police can take over, where the functions and activities of the state police ends, where even the local government policing ends. So I don't think it's going to be a big issue as people are insinuating. The central control still remains in the hands of the federal police, while they supervise what goes on in the various states. So I think there are clear workspace for everybody. The most important thing is get towards securing our nation in the hands of these bandits and criminals that are roving around our country. So I think, and I'm aware that there is a lot that is set aside, that is set on, that will be done. Even we on our side, our advocacies, our communications, our summits, our conferences that brings youth leaders, that brings stakeholders, military, paramilitary, conventional and unconventional, security agencies together to discuss ways forward. Where are we going to? Where do we need to be? I think one good thing is that the government should set targets and timelines for these activities. The IGP needs to talk to his men, collaborate, like you rightly said, with other as they are doing, strengthen the collaboration and give themselves timeline. In so years, we are sure that banditry or insurgency will be a thing of the past, and that is the only time they can really focus and say we have a badge to finish. Else it will begin to revolve, and over the years we'll begin to still see little touches of insecurity.
Well, we've seen the momentum the state police has gathered so far, but one thing I really want to understand: do you think Nigeria is constitutionally and structurally ready for state police?
Yes, why not? The problem at hand.
Because you made mention of some people politicizing it, and that's
no. That is people are only being scared of such tendency. But I think, like I rightly said, there are constitutional provisions. The state policing does not mean that even they say even if we are aware that the activities of a particular state police will be controlled by the governor, who is the chief security officer of the state. Are we not also having federal security agencies in the state right now? Are the governors able to control them or use them in their own whims and caprices? I think the answer is no. That a state needs to have its police to function does not mean that the political class, or let's say a governor or a politicians, will absolutely make use of them. It's still the same thing. But what changes is that those police will be readily made for the solutions on the peculiarities of that state. Let me take River State for instance. The insecurity level or type of insecurity that exists in River State is not the same thing that exists in Nasarawa State. In Nasarawa State, you'll be talking about farmers and cattle clash, community clash, and all that. But in River State, you'll be talking about piracies, oil and gas theft, oil theft, and all of that. So when you create a police in River State, the level of activities, their mode of operation will be very different from that of Nasarawa. So therefore, all their workabilities, all the policies, the bylaws that will govern them remains in that aspect of protecting the insecurity in that state. So that does not apply that. That does not apply that I'm coming. That does not apply that a particular governor will have a full control of using the. Let's see what the 8-man committee comes up with. I think that they can still have a way that the person that controls or that heads the state security does not come from that state. I'm just thinking in my head measures that will be put in place to avert these suspicion that is coming out from the general public.
It's actually
if not, yes,
the prevention.
Yes, the prevention. If not,
the fear that these when this becomes a reality,
yes,
that these governors are going to use these people for either against their opponents or minority. It's
Nigeria will not break.
You and I know how things happen in this country.
Yes.
So let's talk about the prevention.
We cannot take away what is needed now. What is needed now is state policing.
But we should also look at the sustainability. I mean, long-term sustainability.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It will seriously help in curbing what we are looking at.
Exactly.
So let's also allow the political season to come. We have commissioners of police in the states, and we also know that in some states, the commissioners bow to the whims and caprices of the governors,
of course,
during and after elections, before and all of that. We all know that, but it has not crumbled the society. We are still strongly to improve. But for now, for the now that we're looking at solutions, one of the preeminent and possible solutions is to allow the creation of what they call state policing. However, we still have the emoticons in the west. We have the which one in the east? We have a couple of personalized security agencies that are still working, that the governors are not influencing. So let's not cajole the importance of state policing to a mere political usage. There are more importance to what we are looking at. State policing is that system that will be very close to the people. It will be constituted through the people. Every personnel that will emerge from that system is going to be drawn from the society, the local people, the society. So it will help identify strangers. It will help identify territorial differences. If in River State today, for instance, I am the man in charge of River State state policing. River State is my terrain. There is nowhere you point that I will not be able to say, if I cannot reach somebody, I know somebody that can reach.
Exactly. And when you see strange faces,
yes, you know. So this is what is seriously lacking in the federal policing. So let us not discuss or push state security, state policing to let's not politicize it. Even though I know that such tendency may arise, but let's come to that level and see how we can overcome it.
Okay, so what happens to states that are financially weak? Can they realistically fund?
There's no
and sustain?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's no state. There is no state. If you go to Nasarawa State, how much is Nasarawa State? How much does Nasarawa State worth compared to some other states? But today, Nasarawa State is one of the safest states. So you can ask, how does the governor do it? So we think that solving insecurity is just by policing. There are lots of non-kinetic measures the Nasarawa State governor has put in place. You need to travel to Lafia, from Maraba down to what you call to Lafia. That's how far I've gone. Good roads does not support banditry. Good road does not support what they call kidnapping. So there's a lot more non-kinetic measures these governors can put in place. So we should stop making it look like except you deploy police force, except you deploy people that must go and check where bandits are coming. No, there are little things that we can do. What about the use of technology? Nasarawa State today, they have the toll gates where you can break. Anyhow you want to pass through Nasarawa State, you must have a breaker. And I don't know if those if those toll gates are technologically inclined. If they are, it helps. We have spreads of MTN marks here and there. So the security is big enough for people to, but it must be taken personal. Governors or administrators in their state must see it as a personal duty to say that I have to protect this state, because it's only a protected state that can produce properly its economy and social life properly. So I think the governors should not look at state policing as an instrument, but rather they should look at it as a preventive measures to saving the lives and properties of their people, which is their first command.
Well, it's not like they don't know. Yes.
So when you say expensive, I don't really know. I'm just cracking my brain around to know what you meant by expensive. State governors, they have security votes.
Of course, some will argue that the security vote is not even enough.
Like I used to say, even if this Tinubu's administration, even if today the only thing Tinubu did in Nigeria before his 4 years expired, that from now, today that we are talking, no more kidnapping, no more insurgency till his tenure expired, he has done very well for Nigeria. He becomes the best president Nigeria will have, because if the country is secured, every other thing will begin to improve.
Now, if state police is established, what becomes of the existing NPF structure? Should it be retained, reduced, or repopulated?
It's retained. They are not connected. They are only fused. They are not. Nobody is usurping anybody's job, like I earlier said. The state policing, they have where their job starts, where it ends. So maybe where their job ends is where the federal police comes in. I'm sure we'll still have the CPs, the federal police, the commissioner of police in the states. So they work hand in hand. But for the state police, there's where it's just like we were talking about Interpol and the Nigerian police. So if somebody does an advanced fraud or an advanced criminality, it's not become the duty of the Interpol to handle. So are you going to say because there's Interpol, the Nigerian police force should not work? So it's the same thing. Now we are talking about state policing. The state policing will also have their duties, their limits, their limitations, where they end, where matters can be shifted to the federal policing. So I think they are going to work hand in hand. Then the federal police is going to have an overall supervisory role on all the types of policing we're talking about. There are sheriffs, right? I was thinking of that word. Sheriffs, local government policing in advanced countries. So they also have where their powers ends. Anything outside the local government, the sheriffs give to the state policing. From the state policing, anywhere their strength ends, they give to the national policing.
You know, it's quite good you brought that up. But now looking at other federations, the United States, India, South Africa, what lessons do you think Nigeria can draw from their policing model?
Communication. The first lesson is collaboration. That is the free communication. So you see where this is what I what I'm thinking that may happen too. No, you see where directives, for instance, a state police had come to arrest someone, and the federal police will give instruction not to arrest.
Exactly.
And then it becomes intimidating. So this is what we don't want to see. This is what is not done in advanced countries. So there is a free flow of communication. So if a state, even when a sheriff comes to your doorpost for an arrest, and a state police command is passing by, or you've rang them, they will still first allow them to exercise their duties. So these are some areas that I may have issues. Intimidation. Even presently, if you are doing something with a CP and AIG or DIG calls, you're already the winner. It drops it out and all of that. So this is where I think this is what they will learn from them. That level of transparency and collaboration. Sheriffs, state policing, the national police, they're going to be on one basis and not intimidate each other. So then secondly, I also emphasize on central information. The same information you're giving to the sheriff, the same information should the state policing should have, the same information the federal police should have. If these things are in place, I tell you for real, before a federal police will come into a particular matter, you will know that they want it. So that this can also redeem their name. This can also redeem their name. Not everything the state policing will handle, and once it is getting out of hand, they take it to the federal level. So most importantly, intimidation, coercion in working, their workability, their patterned workability. That's my fear. That's my only fear.
You know, that's the same structure we're talking about. Now, looking at your fear, let me use the word your fear. Looking at your fear, can you genuinely expect meaningful changes from a new IGP within the same institutional structure, or is this problem systematic? Do you think it's going to change over time, or
it will change?
Has it been there?
You see, if you look at take your time to look at the progression of the new IG. Somebody that has been in operations for a long time, so he understands the operational aspect of policing now, and is going to you see that if you look at his two few steps he has taken, is diving into operations. So we need to survive, we need to gain more confidence. What do? The executives have declared state policing, so it's now the onus is now on them to see how the workings will be possibly made. So immediately after he was sworn in, he has considered the 8-man committee. So don't also think that they don't have these insinuations or these matters that have been raised in the public domain. They will all trash it out, and I am sure that he is going to come out with refined structure. If you think it's going to be a structural problem, refined intelligence approach. If you think it's going to be intelligence, because they are also going to study these cases where these practices have survived. They're also going to study them and see how they have done and adapt it to the Nigerian situation. So I think the IG's strength is heavy, and this is where I was thinking that the new IG will place himself, and the IG has done very well to place himself in that place. One thing that the police have not really done is communication, calling for summits to discuss issues, peculiarities of issues in societies, because they are the people that we see. They are the people that are known to protecting the public. So they must have that interaction with youth leaders in the country, women's societies, civil societies, organizations. What are the petty crimes that stimulate the system? It's until you begin to piece out all these petty crimes. And somebody was telling me yesterday that cybercrime is becoming too rampant, such that parents are even encouraging their children to go and learn
to get involved
in cybercrime. So you can see that a lot needs to be done. You must get close to the people as police to know how these things generate, even from infantry to when a child becomes a guru in cybercrime. So what influences him? What are the fires under him?
And when you look at it, you see that Nigeria, when it comes to the world of technology, Nigeria is still not there yet. So
I agree with you. But I also want to say, Mercy, please. I also want to say that is not true. See, people are just we are there. People are just not interested in research.
You just said that.
See, let me give an example.
And security agencies, they need to do more of intelligence gathering. And if we've actually been there, or we are really there, you see that all the problems, the insecurity should have gone far, or we should have gone beyond.
I guess so. That is the side of the police force or the military force, are citizens. Are citizens. Have you seen where just just but a few platforms, what is his name, VDM, that apparently, if you go on his case, if you check on his case, if you flip through his platform, if he has posted 80 instances, 70 of them are societal issues where he's bringing the attention of police, is addressing one thing. So apart from those few persons, have you deliberately seen where somebody has gathered 10 million, 5 million viewers, and what they are doing there is reporting crime? We are not helping. The citizens are not also helping. We have a role to play. That in my community, we have a page, a social media page. The only thing we do there is, when once we perceive a crime, and the security agencies in our community or in our LGA are also there. Immediately we perceive any crime, is somebody will just drop it there. They don't even need to know who dropped it. It's just to pick it up. We are not doing that. We spend most of our social media times in things that are important to us. If we begin to do that, today, if inside this room, somebody we don't know walks in, we all feel unconcerned. But if we are on such, we've developed ourselves to that level. In advanced countries, you don't do that. Immediately, even within the terrain, they see a strange face, they call the sheriff. It's the sheriff that comes to identify, okay, this is a neighbor's friend, is a neighbor's uncle, is a neighbor's relative. So we must also position ourselves to that level to help the security agencies. The police does not rove in every rooms, in every building. They are only ears open for Nigerians to make their complaint, or a community. So if the community have also organized themselves in a way that they can identify intruders and make reports, I think that's an advanced intelligence for the police, DSS, the army to use instantly. Not until those strangers remain in the community, cause mayhem, then you say you're reporting. So we also have a role to play. And technologically, we are there. It's just that we are not using that aspect of technology to help the security agencies.
All right, well, a few more questions before we go. Does the emergence of the new IGP alongside the state police, it's been there, the discussion has been there, but we can see the momentum it has gathered since the new IGP stepped in. Legislation signal in a genuine security reset for Nigeria, or is it just one of those things, more of the sample political window dressing? We are going to one of those things that will come and initial gragra, and before you know is being swept under the
well carpet. You're correct. I want to say you're correct, because when new officers are put in place, what are the policy guide, what are the policy reforms to aid? We just got a new INEC chairman, and you saw how Nigeria struggled with the assembly, National Assembly, to make reforms that will help him work properly. True or false? We got a new Minister of Defense. What are the policy lines? What are the financial help? What is government? What is the present day government doing to help the new Minister of Defense succeed? So it's one thing to look at the antecedent of an officer, appoint him appropriately, and leave him
all by himself.
So you must deliberately appoint a good officer and aid him to succeed. Support him to succeed. Instrumentality of policy, instrumentality of execution, funding, and giving good atmosphere to work. If you don't do that, he becomes another minister in the making, just like that. So the IG has come up with all his enthusiasm, all his what will I call his schedules that he will want to, knowing that he has a few years to stay as IGP. He wants to do so. Government also have a role. The federal government, state government have a role to support him to succeed. If you outline all your what you want to do on the table and there are no enablers, you may not succeed. You become the same IG that everybody knows. What makes you different? What creates the differentials as an IG or a new officer? I'm looking at these two new offices they've made. The Minister of Defense, very intelligent and successful army officer, placed now in a round hole. Is a round peg that is placed in a round hole. Where is the enablement to make him function properly? We've gotten another IG again that is also very solid from his antecedents and his upbringing and his training. Where are the resources, the policies placed before him to succeed? These are the million dollar questions Nigerians will be asking, because we want to see a different police emanate from his leadership. The outgone IG has tried his best. He has instituted so many so many commands, so many arms in the police that have stimulated the nation. This is another one. He has come with his own strategies, his own plans, his own pattern. The federal government, state government need to help them to succeed. That is what we can say. Yes, they've made tremendous effort and difference from their people they succeeded from.
All right, we are going to give the new IGP benefit of doubt. At least we've seen all that he said, and he does look like someone who is ready to do the job. I mean, he's coming with so much. He's coming in to the office with so much enthusiasm and the rest of it. And like you said, he needs to be enabled. He should be enabled. But one thing many people have argued is that the military, when you talk about the Nigerian military and why we are still where we are today when it comes to insecurity, is that the military is being underfunded. Even though we can see the 2025 budget, when you look at the budget, it does look like, oh, it's pretty good for the military to work with. But people have still come out to argue that the military is being underfunded. What is your own take in that?
Well, I don't have any record where the military are openly said that they are.
I mean, some
underfunded.
Nigerian people.
So Nigerians that are saying that, like the FCT minister will ask a question, a very smart question: where was the referendum committed? Where did they have the referendum? Few Nigerians will just come out and say
that's why you see them standing by the road to collect 200.
No, it's attitudinal. It's attitudinal. I don't believe that is the structure of the police. I don't believe there is a demand in the police that senior officers will say, go to the streets and bring money for us to maintain the system. However, past officers had openly spoken out. The ones that are bold had only spoken out that in their times they were underfunded. We just saw recently a minister deeply complaining that since he went into office, he has received only 60-something million out of all the billions that are in the budget are proven of that. Okay, that is fine. If these officers, while they are in offices, they are underfunded, I think the old Nigerians, the sincerity, they are not serving the government, they are serving Nigerians. So you cannot be somewhere working. You must not be scared to hold the office. If the office, the requirements of the office is not given to you, you can easily resign or you speak out. Let the people know that that is the different thing in this country. In developed countries, when once they are not meeting up to standard, you see the officers, they make public complaint to exonerate themselves from the deficiencies of their office.
But we've also
but in Nigeria,
we've also seen a few coming out to complain.
In Nigeria, who?
We've seen a
the minister that the minister I can't remember
saying that with their family they're being paid how much, 50,000, that is not sustainable.
No. That is not
realistic.
That is not even what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if it is 1 million that is due for the Nigerian police as budget, releasing that 1 million is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about somebody that earned 50,000 or other. Before you earn 50,000, you are aware that the salary is 50,000. You get? So there's nothing you can do about it. If the situation in the country has warranted that you should earn more than 50,000 naira, make complaints to the appropriate quarters. You cannot just come on social media and begin to complain. Nobody will change it. No. The man you're complaining to is his own changed. So, but where my concern is if it is budgetary that 1 million should go to a particular ministry, let that 1 million go there, because all these budgets are made out of activities, right? Activities that will happen in a fiscal year from that ministry. Contracts, provisions, all what have you that makes up the budget. So if you don't give it, then you're also stalling the enhancements of that ministry. So I think if there's underfunding, we should know, Nigerians should know, so that we can agitate to say, look, police are underfunded, the army is underfunded, Ministry A, Ministry B, Ministry C are underfunded. So when you keep quiet and then after you finish serving, then you now come and say during your tenure you are underfunded, Nigerians will not take you serious.
Our time is fast spent, but before we go, in your honest assessment, 5 years from now, would Nigeria's security landscape look significantly different because
if we are going if we are going the way we are going now, 5 years will even be too much. If we are looking, because presently I'm aware that the holistic of the military, I'm not talking about army, including the Ministry of Defense, the commission, the police commissions, the various commissions, all the apparatus, paramilitaries, they are all looking at what will be done holistically to solve these issues. And I'm sure there are great men with their great disposition, with great decisions and effectiveness. I know that when that decision is taken and they are backed up by the efficiency from federal government, policy defense, resources defense, they will make these issues a thing of a past. 5 years to me, if they go the pace they are going, 5 years to me is even too much. We should be talking about 3 to 4 years.
All right.
All this will be a thing of a past.
Thank you so much, Comrade Duke Alamboye, for your analysis. They are quite wonderful and amazing. Well, viewers, this is where we draw the curtain for today's program, and Comrade Duke Alamboye has been speaking with us regarding the new IGP and of course the state policing that has been gathering so much momentum in addressing insecurity in our country. But security is not just the business of the government alone. Security is your business, is my business, is everyone's business. So when you see something, make sure you say something. These changes unfold, we encourage you to stay informed, engaged, and elected representative, and hold institutions accountable. The quality of policing we get is in many ways a reflection of society we choose to build together. And before we also go, let me use this opportunity to congratulate you. So much is expected of you. Nigerians are looking up to you, and you seem to have so much on your deck to deliver. So Nigerians are actually expecting so much from you, and they look forward to you delivering all that you have promised to deliver. And also we encourage the federal government to give the necessary support that needs to be given. And this is where we call it a day. Make sure you have yourself a beautiful weekend. I'll see you again next week. Keep watching television. I am Chinaza Asigwa. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.